a faffing around video on kind of risotto, but risotto without cheese. So I was kind of thinking, I've got a project in my mind, and I want to kind of do foods on a limited kind of budget and limited kind of ingredients. And I was kind of thinking, well, we can't really do a risotto because cheese is too expensive to kind of buy if you're on a bit of a budget, especially hard cheese, which tends to be a little bit more expensive. And then I was thinking, while I was swimming, surprisingly, that I once saw a video on India, and they used the cooking liquid from the rice, which is kind of quite gloopy, as their dal. Like really poor families, you know, who'd had like not much money at all, you know, kind of rice and a few spices, and that was about it. And they used this, the water from the rice that they cooked as the dal, as like the sauce. So I was kind of thinking, well, maybe we could do something similar. Maybe we could do something similar. So, 100 grams of onions, 100 grams of carrots. I'm going to use 100 grams of peas. I've got 200 grams of rice, and I've toasted the rice off in the pan as well, so that will add a bit more flavour. And then I've sweated the vegetables down in some fat, which is actually lard, like homemade lard. So there's going to be some good flavour in that, and we'll get some richness from that as well. So I've kind of a little bit overdone it on the lard because we're not putting cheese in. So I kind of thought, well, if we put some extra lard in, we'll get some richness from that. And then I put a stock cube in as well for flavour. And then, thinking about like rice, we're going to make it more like a rice pudding. So to get the creaminess, I'm going to use milk instead. So just normal full fat milk. I'm going to start it off with milk. We might end up adding more water to it, but we're going to start off with milk. The rice that I'm using is just this. Well, this is the one that I'm using. It's the long grain rice, easy cook, kind of ready whenever. But if I wasn't using that, I'd use the cheap supermarket rice, which is about 45p per kilo, and it's normally a bit glutinous anyway, so you've got to be a little bit careful with it. So it's not proper risotto rice, but we'll use the glutinous of it to kind of our advantage. I'm not heating up the milk before I'm adding it to the rice. I'm just adding it in, and then we'll put the peas in at the very end, because if we put them in now, they'll want to overcook. So we can put more milk in than that. I should really have measured it, shouldn't I? What was that? It's about half as much in again. So that's 112 grams. So if we put that in, that was about as much as I did. So how much did I think I put in? 12, 16, 70. So put in about 150 mils to start off with. Well, about 200 mils to start off with. So we'll cook that until it's absorbed, and then we'll kind of see what happens. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm just taking the label off the milk, which is a bit noisy. It's just that force of habit. So we'll cook the rice, and it'll absorb up some of the milk, and then we'll add a bit more milk and a bit more milk, and I'll keep an eye on how much milk I'm adding, and then we'll kind of see how it works. I was kind of thinking it would have been nice with a bit of bacon in, but I haven't got any bacon. Well, I have, but it's more like the fancy bacon that I made. I don't really want to kind of use that, and kind of limited budget type of thing. So a bit of bacon in there would be nicer, but we'll kind of see how we go. Anyway, yes. So I've made rice pudding with cheap rice before, and it works. It's not you're supposed to use proper rice pudding rice or risotto rice, but it works if you use cheap rice. You know, as long as you're not too picky about and too fastidious about what kind of rice you're using, it works to some degree. Not to the best degree, but we'll kind of see. So we'll kind of see if the fat and the stock and the gluten of the rice and the richness from the milk all kind of combines together to give us a silky finish on the risotto. We'll kind of see if it works. But you don't need to see me cooking and adding a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. But you see, it's already thickening up, so we'll kind of see what happens. Might end up having some water to that. That might be enough milk as it goes, but anyway. So yeah, and I've just toasted the rice, just kind of give it that extra kind of flavour, because that's kind of, when you're limited budget and you've got limited food, you kind of have to make the most of things, whereas normally I wouldn't toast the rice. Toasting the rice kind of just adds that a little bit more flavour. But anyway, so I'll pause and we're back when something interesting is going on. Right, we're done. So it's cooked and the majority of the liquid has been absorbed into it or evaporated off. I've ended up putting about 300 millilitres of milk in there. So it's about as mock risotto-ish as it's going to be. It's not a bad consistency actually. You can tell it hasn't got any cheese in it. 2 portions there, isn't there? Yeah. It's just me. I've been swimming, so I'm feeling quite hungry. So there's 2 portions there. So cost-wise, that's going to be pretty cheap. And it's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's one of those things. It's about variety. If you're going to feed yourself inexpensively, the cheapest way to do it is just like ramen noodles, you know, or like beans on toast. But you're going to get sick of that. You want something different, and I suppose it's a way of combining. See, that's not so bad, is it? That's not so bad. Combining the same ingredients in different kind of ways kind of works. Yeah, so it's kind of creamy. It's kind of creamy. The fat and the milk have made it like a savoury rice pudding. There we go. We won't call it risotto. We'll call it savoury rice pudding. And it's all right. It's got the, probably would be better with just the onions and the peas, but it's kind of what you got. I think the stock cube helps. The fat certainly helps, and the milk certainly makes it creamy. But it's all right. It's all right. Savoury rice pudding. I think that's a winner. Yeah, it tastes more like rice pudding than it does risotto because of the rice that I've used. But yeah, that works. Let's I'll put it in the I'll put it in the, what we call it. I'll put it in the cheap food file.